What's up, YouTube? PokePrimer here, primed and ready to deliver you the team building portion of our Week 1 battle in the PFCFL for Season 2. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Season 2 time. You saw our draft recap this past Sunday. You know the new team, and it is time to finally put it to the test. Just so you guys know, I will be uploading these separately from the battles, but don't worry, I'm not going to be stupid. I'm not revealing my sets to my opponent or anything. These will go up after the fact of us battling. Actually, by the time I'm recording this right now, I've already had my battle. And that's probably going to be that way for the remainder of the season, to be honest. They're going to be separate. I'm going to have this uploaded most likely on Friday. I'm recording it on Wednesdays when we had our battle. But I will be having it, the team builders go up on Fridays, and the battles themselves will go up on Saturday. So you won't have to watch such long videos just to get to the actual action. Now, as for Season 2, Week 1, our opponents are going to be the Carlisle Goodras, coached by my buddy Jacob over in the UK. Now, Jacob is new to the league, so I'm not sure how good he is as a battler, but he has a very, very threatening team backing him up this season, and might I say, it is pretty scary. So, for his OU picks, he scooped up Mega Charizard X, Scizor, and Hoopa Unbound. For his UU picks, he got Goodra, Espeon, and Kyurem. For his RU picks, he got Drapion, Togetic, and Registeel. And his NU picks are Regirock, Regice, and Claydol. So very, very bulky and heavily offensive team all around. Very, very powerful. Very, very tough team to overcome in Week 1. But I feel like with this team that I built, this team of 6 can handle any combination of 6 that he decides to bring against us. And hopefully it can live up to all of my great expectations. So without further ado, let's get into this team builder. Our first Mon that we are bringing this week is Chun-Li, the Mega Lopunny. Chun-Li is absolute monster. It's probably going to be in almost every match this season, unless I see a clear and obvious threat against it, and good reason not to bring it. Now, Lopunny here is going to be in adamant nature this week, because with that base 135 speed, it heavily outspeeds a lot, and I do mean a lot, of Jacob's team naturally, so I don't need to go jolly and have that extra speed. So this way I can actually get that extra punching power that I need to break through some of those massive walls. We're rocking 4 into HP and 4 into special defense. I needed those kind of little, padding in those areas to kind of, make up for a little less bulk than I would like to have on a Mega, but it's what I gotta do. Plus, having that 4 in HP gives me an odd number so that I have extra Stealth Rock switch-ins. You'll notice that is going to be a theme upon our team having odd number HPs. We are rocking max attack so that we can hit as hard as possible. We threw 60 into our defense just so that we could potentially eat a hit from maybe a Scizor or a Hoopa or something along those lines. Probably won't, but those extra 60 points do kind of matter in some cases, potentially. Who knows? We'll see what happens. And then we're rocking 188 speed. That brings us up to just enough speed to outspeed his Espeon if he is to bring it against us, which I feel like he would. I feel like he would bring it because Magic Bounce is a big thing, and trying to keep Stealth Rocks off the field, especially having a Charizard on his team, it'd be really, really important for him. Now, with such a staggering Rocks weakness, as you can see, with Regice, Togetic, Kyurem, and Megazard X, obviously, you'd think, he's going to bring the Espeon, so I need something to handle that. And I did kind of think I had a plan with this Mega Lopunny, but I kind of had to alter it a little bit. because of Espeon as well. Moveset wise, I'm just gonna stop rambling. Moveset wise, we have High Jump Kick, which is obviously for stab, so that we have something that hits his team very, very hard across the board. Does about 50% to just about his entire team outside of Drapion, I believe. Drapion's the only mon that actually just completely, I think actually does 50% to Drapion at least. Yeah, it does. Yeah, what am I saying? It pretty much does 50% to his entire team besides Togetic, but we have things to cover for that. Fire Punch is there to hit the Scizor, because we need something. We like to have that 4 times fire coverage to hit the Scizor with. Could be very, very useful in the long run, and hopefully, we can get that hit off before he takes us out with some kind of crazy super effective hit, like a superpower on a switch-in or something along those lines. And then we have Ice Punch, which is actually our coverage for the Togetic on this set. If Togetic wants to come in and try to eat up a High Jump Kick or some other move, with its EVLite bulk, Ice Punch will be able to take it out. I already calced it. I ran all the necessary calcs. Ice Punch does take it out after obviously like rocks and whatever damage you would take from, say, a High Jump Kick if it decides to switch in on it or something along those lines. Ice Punch 100% takes it out, so that's a guaranteed check to that. Ice Punch will also take out the Claydol after a High Jump Kick and rocks and etc., etc. It definitely helps to take apart his team very nicely, and I'm very, very happy that I was able to scoop Megalopunny with its ability to carry these elemental punches. It'll really be a hugely useful member of the team. The last move slot originally was meant to be Thunder Wave. I was originally going to run Thunder Wave on my Megalopunny to fire off on switch-ins to potentially give me a second, guys. To potentially paralyze big-time threats that would come in against me so that I can handle them better with other mons, essentially. But the thought of Espeon crossed my mind again, and the fact that its magic balance would send the Thunder Wave right back at me. I can't have my Megalopunny paralyzed. I can't have that. I can't afford that. So I decided to just go for return. Even though he does have mons that resist it in Scizor, Regirock, and Registeel, still having that stab return there, it does crazy damage. It actually does OHKO the Espeon, I believe, or it comes very close to. I think it's like it's a roll, I believe. So I believe it does like minimum like 97% to an Espeon, which is absolutely insane. So having return there as an extra option is really, really nice. So that I can handle some of the threats that resist some of my moves, and it's a stab move that will allow me to potentially do more damage on things that I don't have something super effective against, such as the Hoopa or the Espeon. The next mon on our squad this week is going to be King Ghidorah the Hydreigon, rocking a Timid Nature with a Choice Scarf with 236 speed, 236 special attack, and 36 into attack with... It's not a Timid Nature, who am I kidding? It's a Naive Nature, and for very, very specific reasons. First of all, with this speed, we guarantee that we can outspeed Scarfed Kyurem and Scarfed Drapion if we were to bring crazy things like that. We make sure to outspeed them naturally, so just in case he decides to bring a Scarf, we will outspeed it. We couldn't really outspeed any other things. We couldn't really go to try and outspeed other things with our Scarf. Naturally, we couldn't outspeed anything else, so that was kind of what we just wanted to go with. The Scarf will allow us to outspeed the rest of his team. As for the moveset, we're rocking Outrage, Flash Cannon, Dark Pulse, and Flamethrower. Outrage is the reason why we're running this mixed, specifically for the Goodra. If he doesn't run physical defense investments, which a lot of people don't, A lot of people just run it straight offensive with an assault vest. That's the most common set, at least. I know league format, it's something to plan for with defense investment, but without defense investment, max HP Goodra gets taken out by an outrage from Hydreigon with a naive nature and only 36 EVs into attack. So that's the whole plan with that setup. I know it kind of limits us a little bit, but he does have other dragons on the team in Kyurem and Mega Charizard X. And if for some reason he doesn't bring Togetic, and we get the opportunity to, we can freely click Outrage and do decent damage to a lot of his team. So that's a potential thing out there. The Flash Cannon is there to damage the Regis of Regirock and Regice, as well as having some form of coverage for the Togetic. I know if it is brought especially bulky, it won't do all that much damage, but at least it's something super effective that we can actually hit it with. Dark Pulse is there just as another stab move to hit his team with, and something to take out the Espeon if it comes down to that. Flamethrower is there again, so we have that 4 times coverage for the Scizor. So hopefully King Ghidorah can put in work for us this week. Feel like he's going to be a very, very good revenge killer, and that's kind of the role I'm looking to have him fill. So we'll see how that goes. Next up, we have Zitz. Nice Battletoads reference. Zitz, the physically defensive Seismitoad with leftovers and Water Absorb. Water Absorb's easily the best of his abilities, even though it doesn't really come into play at all this week. It's by far, compared to Poison Touch and Swift Swim, which I had no reason to try and take advantage of this week, easily one of his better abilities. As for EV spread, we're rocking 248 HP, so he comes out with that nice odd 211 HP stat. We're rocking max defense with a relaxed nature with 4 into his special attack and 4 into his special defense, with a moveset of Stealth Rocks, Knockoff, Earth Power, and Scald. Now, Stealth Rock is there because he has a Charizard. Plain and simple. If we can get the rocks up early in the match, this is actually going to be our lead, and we have scenarios for different lead options. This is going to be our lead 100% of the time, this match. We're going to go out. If he doesn't have Espeon, we click Stealth Rocks. 100% of the time, we click Stealth Rocks because a lot of the other Mons on his roster don't have anything that can really touch me, especially if I'm physically defensive. Hoopa can't really touch me. Scizor can't really hurt me. Mega Charizard X himself even would potentially be scared out by Earth Powers or Scalds, so he can't really touch me. Goodra, unless it's running Power Whip, it can't really touch me. I mean, it can hit me on the special side, but it can't one-shot me. Drapion can't touch me. Kyurem can't really touch me. Togetic, it's not offensive, so it can't really touch me. The Regis can't hurt me, and the Claydol Surge Hell can't really hurt me. So I pretty much, if I lead with Seismitoad and any other Mon is out there, I'm free to just click Stealth Rocks. If Seismitoad goes down the next turn, fine, he did his job. If he stays around, even better. Now, for the event of him bringing Espeon, if Espeon is in fact there, opening turn, we click Knockoff 100% of the time. Because if he predicts the rocks and brings Espeon in on the rocks, bounces it back to us, now we have rocks on our side, and that's a problem. We don't want rocks. I mean, if we get rocks on our side by his own doing, he has plenty of Mons to set it up. That's his thing, but I want our rocks to be able to go up safely. So we click Knockoff, and with this spread, hold on. Oh, that was nasty. With this spread, we actually do 70 to 93%, I believe, to an Espeon with a Knockoff. So that's very, very, very useful in this type of situation, so that we can really dwindle it down on a switch in, and then he kind of has to do something crazy to either try to preserve it or let it go down. And we have other Mons that can handle it, which you'll see in a minute. that will most definitely be able to finish the job that Zitz would have started, and then Zitz can just come in and get the rocks up. Earth Power's there, so we have a hard-hitting move against the Registeel and the Regirock, as well as something that can super effectively hit the Drapion, and another thing that can hit the Charizard once it's Mega Evolved. Scald is just there for stab, and to potentially pick up burns. Burn damage could be really, really useful in this match, and I'm really, really hoping that maybe we can get lucky and get a burn or two on something that could potentially be a threat. So hopefully Zitz will be able to come through for us there. The next Mon we're bringing this week is going to be a specially defensive Dusknoir, rocking a careful nature with max special defense, 4 in attack, 4 in defense, and 248 HP, holding those leftovers with the Frisk ability. Frisk is there because I want to be able to scout my opponent's items when I can. Basically, the whole goal behind it is, for that scouting purpose, switch in, see what they're holding, and work from there. That way I can reveal kind of some of what his set is, and so I'm not kind of guessing in the dark, oh, is he Scarfed? Oh, is he Banded? Oh, is he Assault Vest? Stuff like that. That really trips people up in battle sometimes, not knowing what something is. So having the ability to know that really allows me to play around things in a different way. Moveset-wise, we're going to rock Will-O-Wisp, Pain Split, Rock Slide, and Shadow Sneak. Will-O-Wisp is there to get those burns on the physical threats that I was talking about earlier. Pain Split is there so that we have some form of reliable recovery on Mons that could potentially be trying to whittle us down or stall us out. Rock Slide is there mainly for a potential Charizard switch in. Try and hit it with a Rock Slide and take it out. It'd be really, really nice to do. It also hits the Regice, which is kind of nice, and the Kyurem as well. So having that kind of coverage there is really, really nice. And the Togetic would normally wall us, but Rock Slide would do decent damage as well. And then Shadow Sneak for stab. Also, that could be our plan to finish off the Espeon. Especially if it goes for an Energy Ball, it won't be able to take us out, and then we can easily fire off a Shadow Sneak against it and finish the job that a knockoff from Zitz would have started. So we have the necessary counters in place for that Espeon if it comes down to it. So it's not as big of a worry anymore, and I can rest easy that it's taken care of. The next Mon on our team, which is one I'm really excited to bring this week, Antony the Durant. If anyone catches the Ant-Man reference, let me know in the comments below, and R.I.P. Antony. I wanted to bring him back into glory and put in some work with him. We were rocking a move set of Hone Claws, X-Scissor, Iron Head, and Rock Slide. Hone Claws, X-Scissor, Iron Head, and Rock Slide with a Life Orb and Hustle. So this thing is going to be hitting like an absolute truck. For a little ant, this thing puts in crazy amount of work.
We want to do movie night. What?
This thing's going to hit like a truck, especially if I can get Hone Claws up. It's got enough speed. With the 188 speed with a Jolly Nature, it's got enough speed to outspeed everything barring the Espeon. So if we can take that out, this thing can basically come in on a Mon and potentially set up and sweep the entire game. X-Scissors is going to easily take out the Hoopa Unbound, which is really nice to have that 4 times weakness against it. So we have something that can easily take it out. We'll also handle the Espeon if need be. Iron Head for that extra stab move and cause some serious damage to a lot of his team. An Iron Head, even before Hone Claws, does absolutely obscene damage to Togetic. And then a Rock Slide is there because we do outspeed the Charizard. So if it comes down to it, we can take the Charizard out as well with Antony. Antony is an amazing Mon, and I'm excited to make it work this season and put in some crazy amount of work. So hopefully it'll work out the way I'm planning it to. The next Mon on our team, which I actually had to change your nickname because it's ever so slightly different, because I know for a fact I haven't gotten a chance to go to the name raider and change it up to this point. 3 fancy 5U, the Gardevoir, holding the Assault Vest with the Trace ability. Being able to steal a Mon's ability is really nice, because it actually also allows me to... kind of see the kind of set that they're running as well. Say I come in against Goodra, and I see that it has Sap Sipper. Well, I know I couldn't have fired off a Grass move against it. Or if it has, what's the other ability it has? I apologize, I just got a free cookie. But, if it has Gooey, I know I shouldn't fire off a physical attack against it because we're going to slow down. You know, stuff like that. It allows me to kind of, then I can use that knowledge to plan around facing that Mon. Having the Assault Vest as well, with Gardevoir's massive base 115 special defense is going to be absolutely insane. Believe it escalates her special defense stat to over 200 or something along those lines, which is really, really good. It was like gets up to like 197 special defense or something like that, which is absolutely obscene. In my opinion, it's absolutely crazy. EV spread, 252 HP, 248 special attack. Make sure that's because it is still the highest it can go. That's as much special attack as we needed, and then 8 into speed, so that we have exactly enough speed. Now this one was very specific. We have enough speed to speed tie the Togetic, and I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. And just in case he doesn't run speed investment on Goodra or speed investment on Hoopa Unbound, we outspeed those as well. So yeah, that's a thing. I want to be able to outspeed them by at least 1 point, just in case. Because the situation arises, you know, being able to outspeed a Goodra with Gardevoir or outspeed a Hoopa with Gardevoir would be really, really clutch in the middle of a match. Moveset. We're not rocking any Psychic type stab because he does have reliable switch-ins in Espeon and Hoopa Unbound, as well as Scizor and Drapion. 2 of them being immune, others resisting it. So there's really no point in bringing Psychic stab. He had way too many resistances. So we're bringing Moonblast, which is super effective on all of his dragons, which is really nice, and super effective on the Hoopa as well. So we have a good, solid way of hitting those. Hidden Power Fire for the Scizor. If it decides to switch in, normally it would be a very, very good check to a Gardevoir. So having Hidden Power Fire there would be really, really nice to get some really solid, hard damage on it. And most likely take it out. Shadow Ball, specifically to handle some of those checks in Espeon and Claydol. So we have something that can hit them super effectively. And Thunderbolt is there for the Togetic, because that thing's really annoying, and I needed something super effective to hit it with on a lot of my Mons, so that we can handle its Eviolite bulk. So having that hard-hitting Thunderbolt there is really, really helpful. And that is going to be the team for our Week 1 match here in Season 2 of the PFCFL. If you guys are hyped and excited to see Week 1 happen, if you guys are excited to see this ragtag squad come out this week and hopefully put in some crazy, crazy work, please make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already to show your support for the Hazleton Hoopas. And until next time, guys, I'm PokePrimer, signing off.